7. Mark Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Housing. What reports has he received on positive progress being advanced on the government's housing agenda?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the fourth quarter report for 2013 on new house builds shows the strongest growth in more than a decade. In Auckland, it saw 1,959 new homes consented, up 74% on the same time in 2012. To put this house build rate in context of the Auckland Accord targets, we were building 4,000 houses a year. We're aiming for 9,000 houses per year, and the latest quarter data annualises out at 7,800 per year. In Christchurch, it saw 894 new homes consented. That is a trebling on the same quarter of a year earlier. These encouraging numbers are an all-time high and show the huge pace of the momentum in the Christchurch rebuild. Nationally, new home builds were 9,200 for the quarter and up 32% on the same period in 2012. These encouraging numbers indicate New Zealand will build over 25,000 new houses this year, the highest in a decade.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Mark Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What reports has the Minister received on housing affordability and how it compares historically?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, there are 3 independent measures of housing affordability, and all of them show it has improved under this government. The Demographia Survey, which measures the ratio of average house price to income, is currently 5.5, significantly less than 6.3 in 2008. The Roos survey compares the proportion of an average person's income that would go on a mortgage in an average priced house. It shows affordability was at its worst in 2008 at 83.4%, and it's currently 60.7%. The Massey University Housing Affordability Index shows that it too was at its worst 6 years ago at 33.9 and is now 21.8. The average of these surveys shows that housing affordability has actually improved by 30% since 2008.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Mark Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What reports has the Minister received on the claim that Auckland prices are now higher than Melbourne?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, I've received an email from the Real Estate Institute that says this claim is false. The median house price in Melbourne is 643,000 Australian dollars, or in Kiwi terms, 696,000. The median house price, they advise me, in Auckland is 16% less at $600,000. The claim was based on comparing central Auckland Sydney house prices with Melbourne-wide figures. This is plainly misleading, but is what we've come to expect from the tricky crew.
Order. Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What does he say to Human Rights Commissioner David Rutherford, who says that the housing shortage in Canterbury is the country's most pressing human rights challenge? And to what extent has his slowness to act on the housing crisis and his refusal to admit that his housing policy is a shambles has added to the stress and pain of Cantabrians over the last 3 years?
Speaker.
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, what the Human Rights Commission report shows is that the Canterbury earthquakes was the biggest natural disaster that this country has faced, something that members opposite ignore. I draw to that member's attention that in the last quarter, a record, an all-time record number of new houses were built. And I'd further draw the member's attention to the claim by Labor just after the Christchurch earthquakes, who said that the biggest concern for Christchurch was that their house prices were going to collapse, something that I have noticed has not actually occurred.
Order. Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
Does he believe that recent quotable value data showing that the number of first-home buyers is now at the lowest level in 3 years is a sign that his housing policies are working? And if not, how many photo opportunities will it take to change the minds of first-home buyers and convince them that he knows what he's doing?
Speaker.
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, I would simply refer to the facts. And they are housing affordability in New Zealand was at its worst in history after 9 years of a Labour government. They are the facts on all the independent surveys. I'd also draw the members' attention to today's report from Standard & Poor's. Standard & Poor's has said that the LVR ratios introduced by our Reserve Bank are having the effect of containing house price inflation, a measure that's been opposed by members opposite.
Question number 8, Darian Fenton.
My question is to the Minister of Labour. Does he agree with the Prime Minister's statement on the minimum wage that